Have you been feeling it lately? That strange sense? Not quite anxiety, not quite excitement, but something in between. A pull to withdraw. A sense that the air is charged, but you can't quite explain why. You are not imagining it, and it is not random. Because we are entering one of the most potent energetic windows of the year, the 6-6 gateway. And those who understand this, those who listen now, will move through it aligned. Those who ignore it may find their future shifting in ways they do not expect. The 6-6 portal is not a superstition. It is a pattern encoded in both the field and in ancient wisdom. A time when timelines soften, when the architecture of reality becomes more malleable. When your thoughts, your emotions, your frequency, they shape what comes next more powerfully than usual. And right now, your system is already responding. Have you noticed? Sudden waves of tiredness? A deep craving for solitude? Difficulty being around chaotic energy? Or perhaps a sharp rise in intuitive flashes, dreams, visions, strange knowing? This is because your field is sensing the approach of the gateway. And before it fully opens, you are being tuned. Most will not see this. Most will move through these days distracted, pulled by the noise of the world. But for those who feel it, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't, this is a time to listen. The days leading to the 6-6 gateway are not ordinary. They are not linear days. They are hollow days, spaces between the cycles. Not fully of the old, not yet anchored in the new. And in these spaces, reality responds differently. The boundary between inner state and outer experience becomes thinner. Your thoughts shape more. Your field broadcasts more. And what you carry through this window will seed your next timeline. This is why the pull to withdraw is rising. It is not about escaping. It is about attuning. Because noise scrambles the signal. And what is trying to come through now is subtle, fragile, and easily distorted. So if life feels quieter now, if conversations that once felt nourishing now feel draining, if the world seems louder, heavier, more chaotic, trust it. You are not disconnecting. You are being prepared. And what is approaching through this 6-6 portal is not small. It is an alignment point, a moment when the frequency you hold will determine what locks into your field for the coming cycle. Not as punishment, not as reward, but as resonance. You attract what you are tuned to, and in these days, that tuning is accelerating. So the work now is simple, but not easy. Slow down. Listen beneath the noise. Honor the body's signals. Trust the intuition that says, it is time to withdraw. Because what you anchor now will echo through your future. And when the gateway opens fully, those who listened will move through it with clarity, with flow, with power. The others? They may feel swept by forces they do not understand. You are here. You are already listening, which means you are being prepared. Not all days flow the same way, and not all portals open at once. The 6-6 gateway is not a moment. It is a passage. It is not a single date to be marked and forgotten. It is a sequence, a progression, a tuning process that unfolds in layers. And those layers, if understood, can shift your entire trajectory. You are not stepping through this portal in one breath. You are moving through it as a series of gates, each one unlocking a different aspect of your field: mind, body, spirit. And how you move through each determines what you will carry forward. Gate 1, the mind. As the gateway begins to activate, often several days before 6-6, the mental field begins to stir. Thoughts loop. Old patterns surface. Unexpected memories arise. This is not regression. This is the first gate doing its work. It is surfacing what is no longer resonant, what cannot pass through the coming portal without distortion. Pay close attention now. What ideas keep returning? What fears echo louder than usual? What limiting beliefs feel more fragile, more visible? These are not distractions. They are signals. The mind is showing you what is ready to be released or rewritten. But here is the key. This is not a time to fight your thoughts, not a time to fix yourself. It is a time to witness with clarity, with compassion. Because what you can witness fully, you can shift. And what you ignore, you carry forward, amplified by the gateway. Gate 2, the body. As the portal energy intensifies, typically 1 or 2 days before 6/6, the body begins to speak more loudly. You may feel waves of fatigue that seem to come from nowhere, restlessness, a buzzing beneath the skin, heightened sensitivity to food, sound, temperature, or a sense of heaviness in certain spaces, a physical knowing of where your energy is welcome and where it is not. The second gate is about embodiment, because the gateway is not simply a mental or spiritual event. It anchors in the body. Your cells, your nervous system, your energetic circuits, all must attune to the frequency that is coming. And this tuning cannot be forced. It must be allowed. This is not the time to override the body's signals, not the time to numb, not the time to push through with willpower. It is the time to listen, deeply, honestly, to give the body what it asks, rest if needed, movement if called, breath, conscious, slow, intentional. Because how you move through this gate will determine how fully the new frequency can anchor in your system. Gate 3, the spirit. And then, as the 6/6 portal peaks, the deepest layer of the shift unfolds. The spiritual field opens, not as a concept, not as a belief, but as a visceral, energetic experience. You may feel it as a sudden call to deep solitude, a strange softness to the air, a sense of being between worlds, spontaneous downloads, images, phrases, knowings that seem to arise from nowhere. This is not imagination. This is the third gate, the spirit aligning with the new field. And here is where many miss the opportunity. The third gate cannot be opened through action. It opens through presence. This is why the call to withdraw intensifies here. Because noise, even well-intentioned noise, scrambles the spirit's ability to receive. And what lands here is not information. It is activation, an imprint that will shape your resonance long after the portal has passed. The work here is simple. Be still, be quiet, be open, and trust what arises, even if it makes no sense yet. Because what lands in this gate is not meant to be understood immediately. It is meant to become you. 3 gates, 3 layers, 3 keys: mind, body, spirit. And those who honor the process, who move through each with awareness and grace, will find themselves not simply passing through 6/6, but emerging from it transformed. There is a reason why certain ancient cultures marked specific days as hollow or timeless. They knew what modern minds often forget. Not all days flow the same way. Some days move with time. Some days move through time, and some days, like those surrounding the 6/6 gateway, stand outside of time. These are the hollow days. You may already be sensing this. Have the days started to blur? Does time feel strange, stretched in some moments, compressed in others? Are you waking unsure of what day it even is, or feeling like dreams are bleeding into waking life? This is not coincidence. It is the field shifting. And in these hollow days, the boundary between the dream space and waking reality becomes thin, dangerously thin. The 6/6 portal does not simply activate your conscious field. It awakens the deeper layers, the unconscious, the energetic, the dream space, because this is where your core codes live, and this is what the portal is rewriting. Dreams during these days are not ordinary. You may find vivid dreams that linger long after waking, conversations with beings or people you do not consciously know, symbols that burn into your mind, glyphs, numbers, patterns, repeating dream loops, the same scene altered slightly each night, or stranger still, waking visions, flashes of images or memories from elsewhere, strong déjà vu during the day. Here is why. During the 6-6 gateway, the dream space becomes a portal, not a metaphorical one, an actual energetic bridge between timelines, between versions of self, between dimensions of experience. And what comes through it is not random. But here is the warning. If you move through these days in noise, if you drown yourself in distraction, if you chase stimulation, you will miss the transmissions. Or worse, you will distort them. Because the messages arriving now are fragile. They require space to land. They require silence to be heard. This is why you may feel an increased pull to withdraw, to turn off devices, to disconnect from constant input, to sit alone in stillness. Honor it, because the gateway dreams are not dreams, they are codes. And these codes are not meant to be understood immediately. They are meant to rewrite your field from within. What shows up in these days, in dreams, in waking visions, in synchronicities, will begin to show up in your life after the gateway passes, not as signs, as events, as people, as opportunities, as shifts in your path. This is why ancient wisdom warned, do not fill the hollow days with noise, because these are the days when reality breathes differently, when the unseen draws near, when the architecture of your future is being written or rewritten through your unconscious field. And here is a deeper layer. Not all dreams during this time are meant for conscious mind. Some are meant to bypass the mind, to root directly in your energetic blueprint. This is why some dreams will feel incomplete, why some will feel strange or nonsensical, why some will leave you with only a feeling rather than an image. That is their purpose. They are working beneath thought. So if you wake with fragments, with strange emotions, with flashes of something you can't quite name, trust it. Do not rush to analyze. Do not force meaning. Let it work, because some codes only reveal their effects after they have integrated. And here is the final truth of this phase. What you dream now will echo into waking life in the coming weeks, not as metaphor, as reality. And those who honored the hollow days, who listened, who allowed the codes to land, will recognize the echo when it arrives, and they will know how to move with it. You are not imagining the shifts. You are not off. You are being tuned. You are being briefed. And soon, when the portal reaches full activation, you will see why these days mattered so deeply. Have you felt it? That strange hollowness? You sit in your room, familiar surroundings, nothing visibly changed. And yet, there it is. An emptiness. An unseen space that was not there before. A presence of absence. It may feel like loneliness, or like something or someone is missing. But this is not a void of loss. It is a space of invitation. And during the approach of the 6-6 gateway, this phenomenon becomes stronger. In ancient mystic traditions, this was called the empty chair, an energetic marker that appears when your field is preparing to receive something new, a new frequency, a new aspect of self, a new soul-aligned connection. But here is what most miss. When this space appears, the instinct is to fill it with distractions, with noise, with people, with familiar patterns, not realizing that doing so blocks the very thing the space was made to receive. You cannot force this process. The empty chair must remain empty until what is meant to arrive can seat itself in your field. During the days surrounding the 6-6 gateway, this empty chair sensation may intensify. You may feel a sudden urge to cancel plans, a deep craving to be alone, even from those you normally enjoy, a discomfort in spaces or conversations that no longer match your frequency. This is not regression. This is alignment. The gateway is an energetic turning point. And for your field to resonate with what is coming, it must first release density. And that release often begins with creating space. A space that feels, at first, like emptiness. But here is the truth. The empty chair is not about what left. It is about what is approaching. And often, it is not someone else. It is you, a future version of yourself, already moving through the gateway, already resonating at the new frequency, reaching back through the field, preparing a seat for its arrival. If you crowd that space, if you numb the discomfort, if you rush to fill the gap, you risk missing the alignment. Because some frequencies cannot fight through clutter. They require space. They require presence. They require trust. This is why, during these days, the urge to isolate is not a weakness. It is a signal. Your system knows what it is doing. It is preparing for a deeper embodiment. And that embodiment cannot occur if the field is too full of noise, of distraction, of old resonance. Think of it this way. Before a sacred ceremony, the space is cleared. Not because the emptiness is the goal, but because what is to come deserves room to enter fully. And this is what is happening now, in you. The chair has been set. The room is being cleared. The field is tuning. And soon, very soon, the arrival will begin. But this arrival cannot be forced. It moves in alignment with your ability to hold space, to honor the process, to trust the unfolding. So, if the empty chair visits you now, if the room feels strangely quiet, if the air feels heavy with unnamed waiting, sit with it. Do not rush to fill it, because what is meant to arrive will do so, not when you chase it, but when you are ready to receive it. This is the deeper work of the gateway. It is not about doing more. It is about holding more, holding space. And those who master this will find that what lands through the portal is not random. It is exactly what their field was prepared to hold. You are not imagining this shift. You are not broken. You are becoming. And the empty chair is a sign that you are ready for more than you have yet imagined. The threshold is close now. You can feel it, not in the outer world, but in the subtle shifts within. Time feels stretched. Moments feel charged. The body hums with an unnamed anticipation. Because the 6-6 gateway is not just a date, it is a pulse, a living current in the energetic fabric of reality, and that pulse is building. These are the final hours of preparation, and how you hold them will determine what meets you on the other side. Because the gateway does not simply open and change you, it mirrors you. It amplifies what you carry, and it locks in what your field has attuned to during these hollow days. This is why ancient wisdom always treated such windows with reverence. Not because they were fearful, but because they understood the potency of such alignments, and they knew the deepest shifts occur in stillness, not in action, not in outward doing, but in presence. Think of an actor stepping onto a stage. The most important moment is not the spotlight. It is the breath before the entrance, the tuning of presence, the centering of self. And that is where you are now. You do not need to prepare in the old sense. You do not need to perfect yourself. You need to listen, Because the gateway will meet you exactly as you are, in frequency, not in form. And what you carry forward will be what resonates most strongly in your field. This is why the pull to withdraw has been so strong. It is not disconnection, it is calibration. Because noise, even well-meaning noise, will scramble the alignment. And right now, your system knows what it is doing. It is tuning. It is releasing. It is readying the vessel. The final work is simple. Let the world spin. Let the notifications wait. Let the noise fade. And sit with the pulse, with breath, with presence, with the knowing that you are not waiting, you are aligning. Because when the gateway peaks, when the pulse reaches full resonance, you will not need to ask what is happening. You will feel it, and you will know exactly where to stand. Not because you forced clarity, but because you listened for it. And here is the deepest truth. The 6-6 gateway is not an ending. It is an activation. It sets in motion currents that will ripple through your field for weeks, even months. And those who honored this space, who allowed the alignment, they will not be chasing those currents. They will be riding them with grace, with power, with flow. So if you have listened, if you have held the empty chair, honored the dreams, tuned through the gates, trust this. You are ready. You are not behind. You are not off track. You are exactly where you need to be. And what is coming is already moving toward you. Hold presence. Trust the process. The next phase is about to begin. And you will meet it aligned.